What's up everybody, this is Oscar Alcala, DP and cinematographer for Samys Camera, and today I've got a very special video for you guys, and that's going to be on two of my very favorite Sony Prime G Master lenses, and that's going to be the 24mm and the 35mm f1.4. Alright guys, so one of the reasons why these two are my favorite lenses in the lineup is for some reason I really like to shoot wide. I like to show, some really nice pretty backgrounds, and even in my photography, if you guys take a look at my Instagram, I do like showing a lot of background, and it usually entitles having, a nice background to shoot in. But if you are in the studio and shooting against a backdrop, or you don't have a lot of space, the nice thing about these lenses, it's 1.4 aperture, really lets you blur out that background, and they give you this really buttery, creamy bokeh that I love, whether you're shooting video or stills. But the nice thing about these lenses too, although they are on the wider side of the aperture range, you do have these really nice tight focusing distances, which we'll go over in a little bit, but those will allow you to get really close, or even if you're shooting images or video of products, you can get really tight and close into those intricate details and show those in your film or in your stills. Alright guys, so you might be asking yourself, what is the difference between these two lenses other than the small focal length difference? And starting off with the 35mm, it has a 1 centimeter further minimum focusing distance and one more lens element, 14 in 10 groups instead of 13 in 10 groups like the 24mm. But other than that, they're almost identical. From price to filter size, the 35mm and 24mm are neck and neck. Alright guys, so why would you choose one of these lenses over the other? And I think that's entirely up to you, because both of these lenses are phenomenal. And like I said before, the 35mm is my favorite lens only because, for video and stills, it just works for me, and that 35mm range is just perfect. But if I was doing astrophotography or landscape or architecture, the 24mm is probably what I would gravitate towards. Because it's wider focal length, I'm going to be able to, get the full shot instead of maybe the 35 being a little too tight for me in certain situations. Both of these lenses, like I said, have that 1.4 aperture, which is really nice, lets a lot of light in, also creating that beautiful bokeh. The focusing motors on both of these lenses are a little bit different, whereas the 35mm has that new updated drive motor system, but there is minimum focusing breathing in these lenses. They both do a great job. And what I really like about these lenses for astrophotography is they do have the lens elements that help minimize what I would call the starring effect. So you're going to get those really nice circular stars in your sky. But let's go over the exterior of these lenses and the functionality of it, because they are pretty much identical. The 24mm is a little bit smaller in size and therefore weighs a little bit less, but it's very hard to tell. And outside we're gonna find what's typical on most G Master lenses. You're gonna have your focus hold button. This can also be reprogrammed to eye autofocus or anything, anything else that would work for you in your workflow. You've got your autofocus on and off switch to manual. And what's really nice is Sony has included a declickable aperture ring, a switch that makes it really nice and quiet if you're shooting video. In proper Samys Camera fashion, we have the opportunity to take these two lenses out on the field and see what they're all about and put them to the test. So we took a trip out to Borrego Springs, California, where we visited some pretty cool sites there. We got to see a really cool closed down motel and get some awesome shots on both of these lenses. And to add to the excitement, we were joined by our good friend Stan Moniz, astrophotographer and videographer. And, we got to pick his brain. We handed him the 35. I got a chance to play with the 24. We passed them back and forth, and we shot some video and some stills with it, which I'm excited to share with you guys right now. So let's go ahead and roll that footage. All right, guys, so I had an amazing time in Borrego Springs shooting with these two awesome lenses. And I want to thank our friend Stan Moniz for joining us on this cool adventure and getting some of the awesome shots that you guys just saw. But if you guys like this video, I welcome you to hit that like button. And if you guys would like to join our Samys Camera community, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting out fresh content for you guys every Wednesday, and we've got some great things for you guys in store in the future. So join us there, and remember guys, at Samys Camera, we're so much more than a camera store.